Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com. Right there is one of my favorite all-time tracks from Ozzy Osbourne. There is Diary of a Madman on Rock and Metal Revival. And, dude, I just love the way that classical guitar starts out and then Randy
the whole classical vibe in the whole thing. It's
just lets rip. And it's been no secret in the 9 years we've been doing Rock and Metal Revival that, buddy, to me, you are the biggest Randy Rhoads fan that I know.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, the big tattoo on your arm and the whole front room decorated in Randy stuff. So we are honored to have on the show today with us Randy's brother, Kelle Rhoads. Welcome to the show.
And thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be on the show with you this afternoon. And thanks for the kind words about my little brother.
Well, if you could know Jerry personally, Jerry is
he's like my number one, and then everybody else is like way below. Yeah, I've got big posters in my front room. That was my first decorations I put up in my house was Randy Rhoads pictures.
And the guitar.
Oh, that's really cool. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that. We never get tired of hearing that.
Well, that's good, because I could go on for hours.
Well, Kelly, what I wanted to ask you about, we really would have liked, we had actually tickets to see the Randy Rhoads Remembered shows.
Right.
And now they were have been pretty successful. How did the shows and CDs come about?
What happened was I was on tour in Canada and Newfoundland, and this was back in October 2013, and I got a call from the person who produces me and said, Brian Tichy would like to schedule a meeting with you, and he has a proposition to discuss with you. So he came down, and as you may or may not know, him and his partner Joe Sutton put on an enterprise called the Bonzo Bash, which is a tribute to John Bonham.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian proposed that we do a one-off show that tributizes Randy in the same way that they do John Bonham. And the show was for the period of the NAMM show in Anaheim, California, in 2014, January it was, and it was supposed to be a one-off show. The place holds 1,200. We had 1,500 people. People were insane. They went crazy.
Nice.
So after that show, we sat down and said, this could be a really good thing for everybody. Let's try to see if we can't take this show to other cities. So we did an East Coast tour in May and June 2014, and we did another one in May and June this year, and the last two shows were in California, and the last one was just off the charts. It was insane. And the people that go to these shows just really, really, really love them. And so I guess we're going to, as long as people want to see the show, I guess we're going to keep on going. And they're booking dates for 2016 now.
So
and I think this next time, the show will come close to you guys. You're in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the show's gonna run through there and go to like the middle states this time.
Nice. That's what I was
and
hoping to hear.
It just is a really incredible thing for the fans, and it's a really incredible thing for the musicians because everybody loves doing it so much. There's no, when you're in a band, you've got three other wives. You've got the problems, and you've got the situation that the other people in the band are involved with, and that's what breaks a lot of bands apart. In this situation, we've got so many big stars that everybody just says, you know what, let's just do this for Randy, and it just works so well. Nobody's doing the diva act. Everybody's really cool, and
nice.
And it gets along really good, and it's a real lot of fun to travel with the troupe and to go to the different states. It's a real lot of fun.
So are there any plans to maybe do a DVD or something of this so everybody can see one?
I think that would be. I think that would be a really good idea, and I think I'll bring that up to the people that put this whole enterprise together. I think that would be really good to do that. But as of yet, there is no DVD as of yet. But I think that's a great idea, and I could see that being the logical next step.
Now, Kelle, are you surprised at how much Randy's guitar playing has influenced so many of today's players?
I am, especially really young people, the young ones coming up. It is amazing for somebody who only had literally 18 months in the spotlight to have this kind of an influence over people. This is astounding, and it's grown so much. If you go back to the time that Randy was in Quiet Riot, you would have the occasional phone call. You'd have the occasional fan come in. We've got people that flock to this place from all over the world. We have. Let's see. I would say that we have like about a good 70% interest in Randy.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years. It's growing exponentially, and the sites on the internet are growing. There's more sites and more fan clubs, more things that have to do with Randy. And if you consider the short period of time that he spent in the spotlight, because remember when he was in Quiet Riot, record-wise, he wasn't that successful, and that's why he left that band to go work with Ozzy. It's unbelievable, really. It's surreal.
Do you find it crazy that like every sporting event you hear Crazy Train? Like Monday Night Football, in between plays.
I think that's amazing, and I also think it's amazing how little or no money we get for that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, here we go. Major sporting event. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we can look forward to another 35 cents.
Oh, that's terrible.
No.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not that much.
Now, but Kelle, your family's done a great job protecting his legacy. I mean, you've had to have lots of people trying to benefit from Randy's image. I've seen T-shirts everywhere. I mean, what's the strangest thing you've come across so far?
The strangest thing, and I've seen some real strange ones. In fact, when I got into the office today, there was a guy from Northern California, and he started calling. This is really, really weird. It's so weird that I got to talk to my wife about this because it's like Twilight Zone material. No, I'm serious. We just got done with the last show of the tour, which was in San Juan Capistrano in California. And at that same time, that concert was ending. There was somebody in Northern California that would call like at 1:09 a.m., 1:20 a.m., 1:40 a.m., 1:50 a.m., 2:10 a.m. I think he called like 17 times, and some of the stuff he was saying was like really scary, bizarre, really, really bizarre. So, okay, welcome to the next step. Now stalkers come into the thing.
Yeah.
But I would say that one of the weirdest things that I've ever heard is this one fan that lives out in California, and he's got a great deal of money. And, we have Randy's car, and this guy was willing to pay a significant amount of money to buy the cigarette butts out of Randy's ashtray.
Dang.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that is pretty strange. I don't know if he knows this or not, but you can't clone humans yet, if that was his intent.
Yeah. To get
you know what I'm
DNA.
saying?
Yeah.
You can't clone. We don't have that. I think it's just sheep right now.
Wow.
That I think is strange. And then there's also the Venezuelan goat girl. There's a girl that lives in Venezuela, in Caracas, and she's absolutely, and she's told us this with a straight face, she's absolutely convinced that Randy's going to come back via reincarnation as a goat. So she's going around singing Crazy Train to all the goats that she comes into.
We got to get
and
her
to
on
see
the
if
show.
there's any kind of a response. I think she even puts a little bow tie on them if they hold still long enough.
We got to get her on the show, bud. All right. I guess another question we had that we were throwing through because Jerry's got a million questions, but this is one that we both kind of agreed on. What happened to the Randy Rhoads movie project with Peter Margolis a few years back?
If I discuss that, I'm just going to get really, really, really angry.
Oh, okay. Then
so I'm going to respond to your question, because if you ask the questions, it means you're curious. I can just tell you that when you enter a project, I'm talking about any kind of a project, you always think that there's going to be some downside, that things aren't going to work out the way you thought. Let me tell you something. We got fucked 4 ways to Sunday.
Oh.
This was the biggest shitstorm that anybody could ever imagine. In fact, one day they're going to make a documentary about the not documentary about Randy Rhoads. And there's not enough time, and like I said, I don't want to be angry, but it just was one of those. You see, the Rhoads family is very, very open to people. We'll talk to people. We let them come by here. We'll do autographs. We'll do pictures. We have a very, very generous open door policy to the fans and the public. And that sets you up to get fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No. So the thing is how do you balance it? You know, and we're learning. But these people that are making T-shirts and guitar straps and stuff like that, they never give any money to the estate.
That's just wrong. And whenever
of course it is.
I see one, if I see one on Facebook, someone will send me a link to one and say, "Hey, you should get that." I'm like, "No, I'm not paying for somebody to rip off the Rhoads family. That's not."
Well,
right.
Fortunately, we do have some really, really great loyal people that work with us, and they troubleshoot for us, and they troll the sites, and they let us know what's going on. But you know what? If some asshole in buttfuck Iowa is making Randy Rhoads T-shirts, and he's probably maybe only going to sell 3,000 at the most, it's not worth us paying our lawyers what we have to pay them to go track this scumbag down.
Yeah.
The people that honor Randy and really do it the right way, and there are a few, they do cut us in and give us a share, and we put that, in the Randy Rhoads Charitable Trust, or we put some of the money towards the upkeep of the school. But the overwhelming majority do not do it the right way. Like I like to say, they love Randy all the way to the bank. Their bank.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not cool.
And it's just so wrong. But you know what? If you had this conversation with somebody in Michael Jackson's family, or somebody that was related to Marilyn Monroe or James Dean, I'm sure they'd have the same problem.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So growing up with Randy, being the older brother, did you ever have to lay the smackdown on him?
No, but I sure wanted to.
Did he get away with everything? Because I was the baby of the family. I got away with everything.
He got away with more than he should. But I got to be honest with you, he was a very good boy.
Yeah.
He was a fine gentleman, a prince among human beings. Very generous to a fault. Just a really, really, really special person. If you've ever read things that made you think, "Wow, this guy's like almost too good to be real," he was.
Yeah, because that's what really attracted me to Randy Rhoads. Besides the great guitar playing, was his image. You didn't see pictures of him hanging around starlets and all this stuff. You saw pictures of him playing his guitar. If he wasn't playing his guitar, he was sleeping probably. So,
now I gotta set the record straight about that. So I'm glad that came up too.
Okay.
Randy enjoyed life.
Oh yeah.
He was people think that he was like some kind of a saint or like a god. In the 1970s, if you looked the way we did, and you were in a rock band, you weren't singing choir songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a wild time, and everything wasn't politically incorrect back then.
Yeah, that's
and Randy enjoyed the perks to an extent.
Yeah.
And he did practice, But he didn't practice like every single waking moment of his life.
Yeah.
He had a good time in the short time that he was allotted on this earth. He enjoyed, he especially enjoyed being around my mom. He was in awe of my mom. If she said, "Randy, look at that beautiful black car," and it was red, he'd go, "I love that black car."
That's
okay.
awesome.
My mom was the last word.
Yeah.
In fact, she's the reason he joined Ozzy. He wasn't going to join.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't want to be in Black Sabbath. He went to the audition, and my mom said, "Well, did you get it?" And he goes, "I guess so." He goes, "But I don't want to be in Black Sabbath." And my mom said, "Randy, usually in music, everybody gets one really good opportunity." She goes, "This is yours. So you're going."
Wow.
He wasn't going to go. He was going to try to, regroup and try to, because Quiet Riot was his band. He formed it.
Wow.
He auditioned Kevin.
Oh,
In fact,
nice.
he auditioned Kevin with his pal Kelly Garney, who's like my other little brother.
Yeah.
And, they went through different singers and different drummers until they finally found the lineup. But Randy and Kelly started that band, and Randy wanted to be loyal to it, and he didn't want to see that idea die.
I know that through the few times that we've had Rudy Sarzo on our show, that Rudy just misses him so much and just...
we all do.
Yeah, and just values...
It's been over 30 years, and I miss him every single day. I think about him every single day. When I'm on stage and I'm singing, I'm thinking about him. I just think it was such a tragic loss. But if you look at it, with a very unobjective point of view, it just had to be that way for Randy's legacy. He was like a comet. Mm-hmm. And you see a comet that burns so bright and it crosses the night sky and it's so beautiful, but it doesn't last for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. It's a very short time, and that is what makes it so special.
Well, I was telling Jerry, I had the opportunity, I actually got to see Randy play.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with Ozzy in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And, like I told Jerry, at the time, I didn't realize what I was seeing, know. But to this day, I can remember every note. Do you know what I mean? I remember that show.
I know exactly what you mean.
Like it was yesterday. I remember everything about that show, and my friend here sitting across from me is the biggest Randy Rhoads fan I ever met in my life, and he never got the opportunity to see him play live.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean...
Well, tell him not to feel too bad, because I never got to see Frédéric Chopin play.
Oh, there you go.
So I know how you feel.
Well, that leads to my next question. Now, you're a classical pianist, and
I am.
And Randy really loved classical guitar. What is it about classical music that struck such a chord with both of you?
Our parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the leaves on the tree. The musical tradition in our family goes back probably about 150 years.
Wow.
And my mother and my father both played classical music. My mom was a soloist. What she would do is she would work with orchestras, and she wasn't in the orchestra. She would be invited, and she would do cornet solos.
Oh, okay.
And the classical impetus is very, very, very strong. I have every reason to believe that Randy would have gone heavily into classical music and done something with classical guitar that wouldn't have ever been done before. I think that's the direction he was going in. Me, I've sung in rock and heavy metal bands for years. About 20 years ago, I decided to make the switch, and I can tell you there's nothing like it. To compare rock music, R&B, metal, and all that with classical is like comparing a swimming pool that everybody in the neighborhood is pissed in to the ocean.
Nice. Great comparison. Great comparison. Well, now that we're on to that subject, tell us a little bit about what you're up to, Kelly, right now.
Well, thank you for asking. I've just released my 4th classical record, and it's called Magnificent Obsession. And it's definitely, I feel, my best. It's been selling very well for classical music. I came out with my very first one, Titanic Overture, in 2005. And I followed that in 2007 with Portraits of Oblivion. And in March of 2011, I came out with Pride and Profanity. Now, that one was the bestseller up till now. I think that Magnificent Obsession is totally going to be considered and written as my best work to date. And I'm already starting to work on the music for the next one, which will be my 5th.
Now, where can people get a hold of it? Because
there's a couple different ways. I don't understand, and I don't believe in that iTunes or Cloud Tunes or CD Baby or Dead Babies or whatever the fuck that shit is. I don't do any of that. What happens is you either go to Amoeba Records, which I understand that you do not have in Wisconsin, or you simply take an envelope, put a money order in it or a check, send it to me at the school, 12111 Tierra Street, Valley Village, California, 91607, and I'll send you a CD or all of them or whichever you want the very next day. And people have been ordering this way for 10 years and nobody has not gotten what they ordered.
So do you have like a website or something where...
I have a Facebook, but I don't have a website yet.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't have one yet. I'm not very technologically advanced. You see, I love technology, but I hate change.
Yeah. Exactly, I get that.
So I'm kind of old school. Unfortunately, I have a brilliant wife that really helps me on the internet because, of course, I'm not so ignorant to completely turn my back on it and say, well, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. People book tours of this place through the internet, and they buy my CDs through the internet. And so the easiest way to do it is for people to simply send me $10, and I'll send a CD.
Can you get all 4 of them?
You can get all 4 of them for
not for $10.
No, I mean for $10 a piece.
I would say if you're going to get all 4 of them at one time, I would need like $50 because I have to pay for postage and all that.
Okay. I just want to let people know so if they're curious in ordering them. I mean, I know the guy probably across the mics from me right here is probably writing the address down right now.
12111 12,111 Tierra, Tiara, in Valley Village, California, 91607, and address it to Musonia School of Music. I collect the mail, so I'll see it. If they want to put attention, Kelly, it's okay, but they don't really need to. Let me just give a brief discussion of what I do. I do classical music, and I principally compose for the pianoforte.
Nice.
It's serious classical music.
Cool. One thing that tell me if I'm way off on this, but what I picture Randy would have been doing is what nowadays would be like considered what Trans-Siberian Orchestra, kind of the heavy metal.
I think that would be close.
Mix.
One of the guys that participates in the Randy Rhoads Remembered concert series is Chris Cafferty from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I think that he very much would have gone in that direction, and I also think that he would have taken the classical guitar, and I think he would have brought it a notch further.
Very cool.
You see, it's kind of like in the 1840s in Paris. Franz Liszt, and I know your audience is probably going, "Who the fuck are you talking about?" Franz Liszt and Joseph and Frederick Chopin didn't invent piano. Piano had already been invented before, but they took it to another level and they reintroduced it to the public in a way that changed it, and that's what Randy did with guitar.
For sure.
I think it's safe to say that Eddie Van Halen did the same thing. And what they did was they didn't invent the guitar, but they took it in another direction that influenced what's come since that time.
Exactly.
And I really think that my brother would be working with me. Now that's kind of a like I'm patting myself on the back to say that, because I certainly do not put myself in his league, nor would I ever try to do so. But I really, really feel that what I'm doing right now, which I didn't even do when he was alive, I didn't play, piano at that time. I think that he would really fall into it and contribute with me, and I don't think he would just do that, but I think that would be one of the things that we would do together, because we started together. We were in a band called Violet Fox, and you were talking about, did you smack your brother ever, and blah blah blah. Well, in Violet Fox, that lasted about 9 months or so, and if I stayed in that band anymore, I would have got a pipe and bashed his head. Sibling rivalry.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Kelly, aside from being an influential guitar player, and also he designed what is considered to be the most heavy metal guitar, the Jackson Rhoads.
Right.
Do you think Randy today would be surprised how popular and how influential he is?
He'd be hiding in the closet because he was shy, and he would go, "I can't believe this." It would drive him to distraction to know that he became this big. He was a real shy, unassuming person. In fact, people used to tell me it's an act, right? Like, how can the guy be that good? How can you be a virtuoso like that and have such an aw shucks attitude? And I go, that's the way Randy is. That's the way he is. Most of the people in the music business, or who never got in the music business, who just plans out to be famous, they always end up working at Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Randy didn't plan or care about any of that. He just wanted to play, and he just wanted to get better. If Randy didn't make any money from his music, he still would have worked as hard of it, because that's what he was put here to do. And he's one of those fortunate people that found that out early in his life.
All right.
The guitar and Randy are synonymous.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Now, how's your mom doing?
Well, in 2009, she had to retire from public life.
Yeah.
And she doesn't teach or run the school anymore. She passed it over to me.
Yeah.
And for her age, she's doing quite well, and she's still with us, but she is just not able to teach and participate in all the things for Randy anymore. It's very hard for her to to get around. She's essentially an invalid.
Oh, that's, she's like Mother Teresa to us Randy Rhoads fans.
Well, I've heard her called that. Frank Hannon from Tesla called her that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mother Teresa of metal.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilde calls this place, I'm talking to you from Musonia School of Music, Zach calls this place Mecca.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's why everybody wants to go there.
And, my mom started this school. It was her dream. She started this school shortly after World War II, and we have 67 years of operation, and it's turned into a literal musical dynasty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The people flock here, and they're just so, oh my God, they're just so happy to be here. They've wanted to come for so long. They didn't have enough nerve to do it, or whatever, or they weren't out here in California, and they come in here, and they're just in awe of this place.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I would be.
I got one more question for you, Kelly.
Only
before
one
we let
more?
You go. Yeah, before we let you go.
Okay.
All right. Out of all the tracks that your brother recorded with Ozzy, which one do you like the most?
Flying High Again.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I think those arpeggios in the guitar solo, they're absolutely brilliant. That shows you right there what kind of talent you're dealing with.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite. I also love the one with the piano interlude. Is it Revelation Mother Earth, or is it good? Well, yeah, Revelation Mother Earth.
Yeah, that's a sweet one too. Love that guitar solo, the harmonic minor.
Well, Kelly, we appreciate you taking time to be on our show. I know this meant a lot to Jerry. It meant a lot to me to have you on the program today.
Anytime.
And we hope we get that Randy Rhoads Remembered show up here in our neck of the woods.
I'll do whatever I can to make sure that happens. Like I said, the shows have been really, really successful, and I think we're just going to go forward and do more of them. And it's really wonderful.
Excellent.
Cool. And
I want to thank all the fans. They're the people that put Randy where he is. Randy's talent, yeah, okay, yes, but people vote with their feet. The people that go to these shows, the people that love him so much, that's what placed him in the pantheon that he's in. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much from the Rhoads family to all the fans. Thank you so much. We love that you love Randy that much.
That's awesome. And please give our best to your mom.
I certainly will.
To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations. Enjoy this edition of Rock and Metal Revival.